It has finally happened. John Hlophe is finally getting the justice he deserves. Hello everyone, welcome to the Morning Shot, your daily jolt of the analysis. First things first, as you can see, I'm not in my study or my studio, so I apologize if the sound's a bit off, if the quality is a bit off, if the background is a bit off, if the lighting is off, but we make do with what we have. I'm actually away, but of course that won't stop me from bringing you the latest news at the Morning Shot. So let's start with the first story, namely the judge in the Western Cape called John Hlophe. And if you're not aware who John Hlophe is, he is the judge president of the Western Cape Court, and he has been marred in controversy for a number of years now. In fact, this complaint is 12 years old. And the complaint was that John Hlophe visited two Constitutional Court judges to discuss pending judgments in cases pertaining to the legality of search and seizures in the Zuma Tint corruption matter. And what is alleged here is that John Hlophe used to visit these judges to discuss these Zuma matters and apparently wanted them to change their minds about how they will adjudicate that particular case. And in essence, what Hlophe did was to visit these judges and to give them his strong views on the issue of privilege. Basically what happened was there were several documents that were seized, and John Hlophe tried to argue in front of the judges in their own chambers that these documents were privileged and therefore could not be seen in a court of law. In fact, he went to one judge, Judge Jafta at the time, and he said that this issue should be decided properly and that you are our last hope. He also told Judge Nkabinda that there was no case against Zuma. And during the meeting, he bragged about his political connections, followed by a subtle threat. People were going to lose their jobs once Zuma became president. But of course, Hlophe had his own excuses. He said that the judges were very unfair towards him. He said that he just went there to congratulate Nkabinda on her appointment to the Constitutional Court. And then, of course, later on, he claimed that there was a political motive and a sinister plot against him. So you may be wondering, what took so long? 12 years. This judge goes to the Constitutional Court, goes to two judges in the court, brags about how friendly he is with Jacob Zuma, says that the case against Zuma is null and void because the documents are privileged, and that these two judges are our last hope to save Zuma. What took so long for the Judicial Services Commission to find him absolutely guilty of gross negligence? Basically, Hlophe adopted the Stalingrad strategy, i.e. the Zuma strategy. There was a legal ping-pong battle which lasted more than 8 years. And even after that, he wanted one of the original members of the panel to recuse themselves and also had a dispute over who would pay his legal fees. In fact, the report expressly said that Hlophe used unreasonable delay as part of his weaponry to attack the tribunal, asking that his rights had been impinged. It's rather glorious. It's very much like Jacob Zuma. You take all the legal steps to make sure that your judgment is way out into the future, and then you blame the judges for saying, I'm never going to get my day in court. Why is this taking so long? Typical. Very, very typical. So what exactly is going to happen from now on? Well, they have found him guilty of gross misconduct, and now that report has been submitted to the chairperson of the Judicial Services Commission. And the JSC, or the Judicial Services Commission, is the one that determines what happens to judges, what the ethics are around judges, and how judges should behave. But really, if the JSC do not fire him for this, I'm not too sure what exactly gross misconduct means anymore, because during the course of these very, very long 12 years, he attacked the essence of the Constitutional Court, he attacked many Constitutional Court judges and previous Chief Justices, and he brought the entire judiciary into disrepute. And he often accused other judges of being dishonest, and he made very demeaning comments about them. And the report concludes with this, and I quote, "We consider it our duty to vindicate the integrity of the justices of the Constitutional Court, in particular Chief Justice Pius Langa, Deputy Chief Justice Dikgang Moseneke, Judge Nkabinda, and Judge Jafta, whose integrity has been called into question by Judge President Hlophe's unfounded and scurrilous attacks. They acted with honor to protect the institutional integrity of the Apex Court." So what's my view on this? Obviously, I am quite happy. John Hlophe is a thorn in the side of judicial integrity in this country. He should have been removed long ago, but he had very, very powerful connections, especially in the Zuma faction of the ANC. Those connections aren't available anymore, so I don't see how he's going to survive this. If the JSC has any bit of testicular fortitude, He should have been gone years ago. But now with this report saying that he's guilty of gross misconduct, I don't know how he survives this. And there's also other stories where he wanted to order a hit on a fellow judge in his court and a variety of other things. I don't think John Hlophe is going to survive this. I pray he won't survive this, but this is South Africa when is justice ever served in a timeless fashion.